people taking the left turn that don't move over enough for you to pass on the right.
That one.
Those people should be.
I'll tell you. There's one, and like I kind of have some road rage a little bit.
No,
we all do. We all
right.
Boston.
If I'm driving, okay, and someone's gonna pull out in front of me, and there's no one behind me,
Oh, that pisses me off.
like you gotta go right there. You have to pull out right there.
You couldn't wait one more. Like there's like a line of cars.
Wait, like you've waited for what? Like 20 seconds? You couldn't wait 23.
Yeah.
Like are you shitting me?
I feel that one, especially
And now
the
I gotta
people,
follow your all the way.
It's
like,
the people getting on the highway when you're getting off, the yield people.
Oh,
They just go. They speed up while you're trying to get off.
Oh,
to your
you know
exit.
what's a really bad one? If you're going north, 128 north, from Market Basket and Danvers. Mm-hmm. Right, now
Very
that's
specific.
That's a tough exit.
I hate that exit.
It's brutal.
It's awful.
It's very weird, and it's been like reworked 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, they never know which way they're going. It's bizarre.
That's a tough exit to begin with.
Always construction right on that on ramp.
Oh, always.
Always.
But for God's sake, look before you get there.
Oh, yeah.
To see. Because if you can just go instead of stop.
Yeah.
The right hand turn arrow lights. I know there's a protected left, the green arrow turn on the green arrow, right? But then getting off of that exit too, if you're on 128 South and you're getting off like where the Liberty Tree is, right? And they have the 2 green lights there.
Yes.
And you gotta wait, but every other exit in America doesn't have those 2 green lights.
Yep.
So you just get off and you merge. But this one there's a red light there, so you gotta stop and you do the weird thing because they put a crosswalk there.
Right.
Put a crosswalk somewhere else.
Yeah.
How about we do that?
Also be right
How about we
on
move
that
the crosswalk
Who's
to a different
walking
area?
on that road
No one
anyway?
walks. You ever seen a person in there? Never in my life.
Yeah.
No one. I've never seen a person walking there. I see cars all the time though, sitting at a red light for no reason.
I see homeless from time to time, but that's about it.
Sam.
Welcome back to the Movie Mob Podcast, episode 37 in honor of Rodney Harrison. We are joined here, as always, by Matt, Sam, Nick behind the camera, in making his second Movie Mob appearance. Jacob, welcome back.
Wow.
Great to have you on once again.
Great to be back here.
And we here for a special event. We got the Ant-Man review.
Oh,
Ant-Man
yeah,
and the
straight
Wasp,
from the
Quantumania.
theater.
You just came.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Which way, right? All right. How you doing? Quantumania. We're all feeling Quantumania, after the quantum run.
Da-da-da. We got one news topic before we get into the good discussion topics we got today, and it is Marvel related. Patrick Stewart, we know him. Picard, Professor X. He's played a number of roles. He was in an interview the other day, and they asked him about his likelihood of being in Deadpool 3, which comes out next year. And he said they told him to be on standby for Deadpool 3, which I think to me means probably likely.
Okay.
But then he added to that him and Ian McKellen have been talking about his appearance in Doctor Strange.
Oh.
And they said they got plans in the future. So could we be seeing the 2 goats of the early 2000s X-Men movies alongside Hugh Jackman once again in Deadpool 3? What do you think?
For me, RJ, I kind of think about this as if like I go in my fridge and there's orange juice. I'm like, oh, all right. But if there's not, I'm like, oh, I'm not too worried about it. That's how I look at it. If they're in the movie,
it's nice.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
But if they're not, I'm not too worried about it.
Right.
I'll still see it anyway. So that's how I look at it.
I like that.
Thank you.
Jacob, are you a fan of the X-Men movies from the 2000s?
I do.
Okay.
I do like X-Men. This movie comes out what year?
Next year, I think.
2024.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kobe year.
And obviously Hugh Jackman's been confirmed. So
I feel like a lot's going to happen between now and then.
that is true.
I have no problem with it. I mean, I think that at that point, if you bring them in, then it's kind of like, okay, like X-Men and mutants are here.
And I feel like they wouldn't be portraying these characters other than like a cameo in that movie.
Quick scene.
They're very,
I feel like it could be more of like a fanfare type of thing.
100%. Yeah.
I don't think you want to take away too much like from what you have going on there.
Deadpool cracks a few jokes about him, and then that's kind of it.
Kind of like breaks the third wall.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that should really be it, I think.
I-
But I would like to see him.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're bringing Hugh back,
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck
absolutely. I mean,
what do you think, Sam?
I mean, I'm not too big on the X-Men movies myself.
Okay.
So I could care less about this guy being in Deadpool 3, if we're being honest here.
Magneto, guy moves metal.
I don't give a shit about Magneto. But, I'm just happy to see Ryan Reynolds again on screen.
Amen.
That's all I want to
And
see
Hugh
because
Jackman.
he's fucking hilarious, and I love the dynamic. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of funny jokes that Ryan Reynolds uses in the movie
yeah.
Funny
about
guy.
Hugh Jackman
Right.
and
Oh,
his
that's gonna
character
be
in
great.
these movies.
Yeah. Well, because in the first Deadpool, he's got Hugh Jackman's face on him.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be funny. I agree. Nick, any interest here? Have you ever seen the Deadpool movies?
I
feel like you
saw
might like those.
bits and pieces of the first one. It's funny.
Yeah.
I like Deadpool.
You don't like to laugh?
I like that.
I do. I do.
I like
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Indeed. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, there we
I
go.
mean, if I had to put money on it, they'll probably be in it. Again,
cameo.
small cameo, like you said, Jacob. Fanfare stuff. But I'm excited. I love them. They're iconic in those roles, so we'll see. But let's discuss. Let's get into some trailers today.
Nice.
We got 2 trailers to talk about, and the first one is Tetris. Now, they announced this movie, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 back, and I was like, what are you doing? They said Tetris movie. How do you do that? It's a game about blocks, right?
Yeah.
Moving blocks, math. But I guess it's about the making of Tetris, which I was not aware of when they announced it. I watched this trailer, and I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun movie.
It
Jacob, what do
really
you think
does.
of this?
I watched this last night, and honestly, it was not what I expected at all.
No.
I honestly expected like they're making that like Dungeons and Dragons movie,
Yes,
and they
it's-
made like a few other movies
yeah.
like that. I was like, how on
Talking
like,
blocks.
How are
or
you gonna do
something?
this?
Yeah.
Like what approach? And I watched it. I was like, this is not what I expected,
Mm-hmm.
but I would 100% watch this when it comes out.
It had
I
like
think-
a fun
yeah.
energy to it.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I mean, like going to like Russia and all that stuff, and I was never like a Tetris guy,
Yeah.
but they go to Russia, right?
Yeah, they go to
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah.
I just want
There
to
you
make
go.
sure.
Yeah, no.
Nick,
Always
Nick made a
Russia,
face,
man.
and I was
It's
like,
It's always
I was
Russia,
like,
the
okay.
Soviets.
I was never like a Tetris guy, but every time in like Miss Sudak's class, I would always look over and see like people playing
Shout
Tetris.
out
and I'm
Suds.
like, yes.
course.
Those Sims that we had to do. Oh man, those
bitch.
were bad.
Those were a bitch.
Thank
God for rotting.
it looks pretty good. I'm.
I mean,
intrigued.
it is an iconic game.
Yeah.
You know, it's been around for a while, but I had no idea about the Russian connection and how they made the game.
yeah.
So
Well, you sent me the trailer, dude,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, is he fucking serious? Is this real?"
no, I rolled my eyes.
I thought I
initially,
misread it. I was like, "Oh no, it's actually about the fucking Tetris."
Yeah.
And then I watched the trailer. I like when we're facing the Soviets, the Russians. I feel like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
can get behind it.
Rocky IV,
It's
baby.
like, all right,
Yes.
Rocky IV, and just
Stranger
root,
Things.
we can all get
Yeah.
behind and root against the Soviets. You know, we're all come united.
Yeah.
So I like that the Russians are in it. Will I see it? If it's free and on my TV, I'll see it.
Yeah.
So
It's
Apple,
just
see
like
the little apple down there.
Apple
all
TV.
right. Maybe I'll come over to one of your guys' house. We'll
Just
watch
like
it.
Joel in the new episode,
about
we're
myself.
anti-communism.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
so
line.
many
No,
good things to
good
say.
line.
It looks like a cute movie though.
But what do you think of this, Sam? Is this up your alley?
I mean, I'd probably go see it. I mean, unless it's on Apple
yeah, it's on
TV.
Apple TV, so
Well,
it's in the
so
comfort of your own home.
I
you know?
can't watch it because unfortunately I don't have Apple
all
TV
right.
Plus,
It's not
but I
black
know
and
you
white
do.
either.
I do.
So
we'll
it
go to
could be a
RJ's.
watch
Yeah,
at
we'll
RJ's
take
house,
Tetris
you know, a little
watch. We'll play
popcorn
Tetris,
action.
we'll-
Hot
Yeah, we'll
chocolate.
play the game while we're
Jenga,
watching the
every
movie.
friggin'
Some
block
But
is-
I am a big
With
fan of
Yeah.
Taron.
Oh, yeah.
He's in Kingsman.
Rocket,
He is
Elton
awesome.
John.
He's a very good actor. It's nice to see him getting another like bigger role because like I only know him from the Kingsman movies. But it's good to see him. Glad he's getting that big lead. Hopefully this leads to more roles down the line. As far as the movie goes, I'm optimistic about it. I'll keep an open mind. Just need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say it's good that it's like a true story, but they're not taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
They're getting the fun out of it. Nick, what'd you think of this?
The have any of you ever seen The Founder? It's about the beginning of.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Michael
that's a really
McDonald's.
good movie.
Yeah.
So
Batman.
this is that style of movie. Like
Yeah.
it's 100%. It's I love anything business risk taking.
Yeah.
Same like we talked about last week with
like
Air.
yeah.
Those movies always I'll watch it 110%.
Ford v
I
Ferrari.
do have
Yes.
Apple TV Plus. This looks fantastic, and I must say,
Oh boy.
since I'm from half a generation above you guys, whatever
Yeah.
it is, right? When I had my Razr phone,
Yeah.
there was one game on that phone, Tetris,
Amen.
and it was free, and that's why I had it.
Well, I feel
And
like
it
that.
was
It's like that game that's always
fantastic.
there. Yeah.
That and the snake game that goes around that nobody
snake.
ever knows how to
Oh,
play.
yeah.
You know, where you go
Yeah.
up and down, wherever you eat the ball.
Oh.
The easy. Everything that comes out of anybody's mouth has to be a joke.
No, I like it though.
We're a little
we don't
fucked up, all
address
right?
it. Let
No, the issue is just that I get nervous about the stuff that's going to come out of my mouth pretty
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
It's going to be significantly worse than anything any of you can
We'll
say.
go down
We're
together,
talking blocks, not balls right now.
Yeah,
right?
My point
blocks, not balls.
is that Tetris has been a staple of my adolescence for a while, and
Maybe I'll get back into it.
it's one of those things where it's like
So
kind of
full of
makes you
shit.
want to play Tetris. You know what I mean? Watch
It's a
them.
big adaptation, so I got to understand the story first before I go into the movie.
It's I really am. It's really funny to think that there's a guy with an idea for a game that is in a time where they don't exist.
right.
Right? Like you couldn't come
Yeah, that's
out
true.
with necessarily a Tetris. I mean, if you had an app, like there's tons of apps that are just
Candy
bullshit.
Crush. It's all.
Yeah, it's all relatively similar
Mm-hmm.
stuff, I'm sure. But like in a time where this just doesn't exist as a medium at all, and to have this game, I mean, there's people that are like, "What do you do?" I mean, in the trailer,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, "What do you do?"
I mean, Tetris was him.
the
you know?
is it the Russian guy or is it I thought it was a Chinese guy. He goes to like
No.
Japan or something. There's someone who plays it, an
I don't
Asian,
know what's going
Yeah,
Asian
no,
gentleman
I know who you're
really.
talking
who
about.
plays it,
yeah.
and he looks up at him after, and he's like, "This is really good."
He's probably the
Yeah.
middle guy. You know,
He's probably the guy that
it's like
develops
in the Nolan movie. He's
software.
gonna see Michael Caine before he gets to the main
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
He's
He looks
probably
up
the
to
guy
Inception.
that develops the software.
Yeah,
for it.
he's the Lucius Fox. Yeah,
I like the middle guy.
So
the middle guy's great. You
Good.
can't get to the end without the middle.
need the middle.
Right? You need the
You
middle.
need the middle.
Amen. Well, we're very excited for Tetris. We'll be watching it. What's the other trailer we got here? John Wick, Chapter 4. I mean, these movies are pretty ridiculous, but we love them. A lot of guns, a lot of shooting. This movie's actually almost 3 hours long.
You're kidding.
I don't know
Jesus
about
Christ.
that.
Jeez.
I like it under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, great trailer drop for this one. Donnie Yen with swords, Skarsgård's in this. Great cast. I'm pumped for this. I mean, it's John Wick. You know, it's not really a story thing.
Pumped?
I am. I'm fucking pumped. Sitting here, watch.
3 hour John Wick.
I'm not pumped
We're
about
pumped?
the runtime.
Pumping
I'm
the
not.
brakes.
But
Yeah,
dude,
thank you.
hey,
That
hey.
was fantastic,
Oh,
dude. That was
I don't
very good.
But it's entertaining. It's
Very good.
It's a good mindless watch. Sometimes I don't want. You know, The Last of Us is very heavy. Sometimes I just want to watch The Boogeyman.
I was just gonna say the reason I like these movies because I don't have to think.
Exactly.
I can just show up and watch John Wick fucking kill people all across Europe. He's in Paris, I guess, in
That's
this movie.
great.
He's at the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Maybe he hangs off it. Maybe he falls.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's
If he
fun.
does, I guarantee he's got a parachute somewhere.
He'll make
yeah.
it. He'll make it.
He's the Boogeyman.
It's a good time.
No, I mean I'm excited. That runtime's a little long.
Yeah, it's terrible
That's
actually.
for a movie like this.
Like
I
what
don't
are
know.
they what are they doing?
I don't know.
Like how many people can he kill in 3 hours? I guess a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But-
Well, record numbers for John.
You know what I call this? I call this would be like a classification of like a Netflix and chill kind of movie.
Oh.
Like you don't really need to pay attention to it, but you put it on. It's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
some
yeah.
action, maybe a couple jump scare, a little something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a good movie to watch with somebody. You're like, oh, don't worry, I got you. Oh, focus on, forget it. We didn't have to watch.
Right. You just hear gunshots in the back.
Yeah, whatever. Flashing lights.
You
You,
look up
know.
every-
Flashing lights. Jacob,
So-
you're not a John Wick guy, right?
I'm not a John Wick guy.
Any interest in diving into the Wick saga?
So I actually just saw.
It's a good way to put it.
Very good. Go.
I just saw the trailer at the theater, and
Oh yeah, they played it before Ant-Man.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's just
It's Wick.
It's,
yeah.
He's
it-
at it
is,
again,
yeah.
man. He's at it again.
Yeah,
He likes dogs.
He does
I
like
do
dogs.
like dogs.
A lot of dogs.
I
Halle
did watch the
Berry's.
first movie. The dog thing messed me up a little bit. I was
Yeah.
totally
Willem
you know,
Dafoe in the first.
Halle
movie.
Berry's
They
in one of
somehow
them?
made Willem Dafoe look like a bad actor.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. The
Not
Goblin.
great in that.
I'd watch it.
Try it
You
out.
know. Oh,
You're bored one
yeah.
day, you know.
Maybe you get COVID. You know, you watch the Wick saga.
Yeah, if you get Kobe, you get an extra 3 hours of time that you can
Yeah.
just spend watching Keanu Reeves.
The other ones are shorter.
Yeah.
do whatever he does.
Hey, it's a great. I like him.
What about Sam?
Sam, you like these movies?
I've seen the first one.
Okay.
Haven't seen the second or the third installment.
Oh, they get better.
I love the first movie.
Mhm.
The scene with the dog, very touching. You know,
Yes.
it's a man on a mission. You know, he's got nothing else
Mhm.
to live for.
Oh.
So he's like, you know what?
Just looks at you.
Yeah. Well, you
Wow.
know, he's a very dark individual over here.
Uh-huh.
So I just immediately looked to Matt. But
You think of death, you think of me.
would I see this for 3 hours in a movie theater with you, Mamooks? Probably not.
All right.
That's a little bit too long of a movie to go see.
Mhm.
If it doesn't captivate me within the first half hour of the movie, I'm probably out. I'd walk out of the theater.
I know you would. You'd fall asleep.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, either that or fall asleep. I did that during Solo.
It's got to have Godzilla in it.
I think you fell asleep during Rogue One too.
Yeah, no, just throw in a couple airplanes or something. Keep me busy.
Thank God it's not in black and white.
Yeah. Nick, nothing.
Oh, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing
Come
this shit in theaters.
Come on,
3 hours?
I love the end of this trailer.
The whole work day. Are you out of your mind?
Delivery.
Oh, it's awful.
It's just intentionally bad, I think.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
great.
He's trying to be bad.
I don't know. I'm excited. I'll be there.
Right.
March 24th.
Good for you.
Book it in.
Here you go.
I mean,
Let us
I'll
know
come with you.
briefly.
I'll come with you.
Very brief review on this.
Have
one.
fun.
Well, in terms of movies that we have seen, we had our intro to Phase 5 of the MCU. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the third Ant-Man movie. Who would have thought
Not me.
we'd get three
yeah.
Ant-Man movies? This was hyped up. Feige thought he was hyping this up. Kang, right? A lot of stuff. The Quantum Realm. They called it an Avengers movie in the same vein.
Did they really say that?
They said it's Avengers level.
Okay.
Now, that was just to sell tickets because I don't agree with that. But Jacob, I'm going to start with you first because you literally just came from the theater having seen this. You were very excited for this movie. What'd you think?
I'll say I haven't looked forward to a movie like this in a long time.
Wow.
Okay.
I remember like leaving here saying, and then talking about we'll have you back on for the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to it. I'll give it a percentage.
Okay.
I'd say probably 85 to 87. Around there. I stayed off of Twitter.
Nice.
Anything.
Yep.
I didn't
Good
want to see
man.
anything. I did see one thing. Just like a critic review. It was saying that Kang should have introduced earlier.
In the movie?
In the movie.
He's in the opening scene.
Yeah.
They watched the same movie.
Yeah. I
But then he disappears
I know,
until
yeah.
like the end.
Yeah.
I will say I don't really agree with that 100%. I liked how they kind of built him up. They just kind of referred to
I
it as
agree.
like him
I
and
agree.
like Conqueror.
Yeah.
Sauron,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a little round
we'll
table.
circle back to it.
I want to let you guys.
I
Can you
mean,
give a basic plot, RJ?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Ant-Man's daughter gets
Cassie.
she's sending signals to the quantum realm for some
Spoiler.
reason.
Warning
Yeah,
right here.
spoilers,
Spoiler.
obviously. She fucks up. As it's very by the numbers. They get sent into the quantum realm. They kind of split off. You got Paul Rudd and his daughter, and then Scott Lang. It's a character, and then we got Michelle Pfeiffer. What's her name in this? Janet, Hank, and
Hope.
the Wasp, Hope.
Evangeline Lilly.
So it's kind of a two-sided thing for the most of the movie, and they're just kind of traversing the quantum realm, which we've seen very little of before, and it kind of gives me Star Wars vibes.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi parallels. Which I really like the world building and stuff. Kang's obviously a big part of this, so I think that's what we're going to talk about the most. But I didn't enjoy this movie very much. I'm going to be honest. I had fun with it, but it's kind of more of the same for me with these new MCU movies. I'm not feeling it. But Matt, what'd you think of this?
I liked it.
Yep.
Just because, like, I don't know, like, my expectations are, like, ever since Endgame, like, these, like, Doctor Strange, like, the newest Thor movie, like, they were okay. So, like, for this one, like, I was excited for it, but, like, I wasn't going and thinking, like, Avengers or Infinity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking, like, Ant-Man.
Which they tried to sell it as.
Yeah, well, fucking, but I don't know. I had fun with it. Because there's, like, some of the shit they do was, like, so fucking stupid. Like, what's the guy's name? Darren?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I wanted to wait till this.
MODOK.
Yeah.
That was
stupid.
It looks so stupid.
That was so
it's
fucking stupid.
ridiculous.
Like, it was so fucking stupid.
Like,
But he's like a pretty big character from the comics,
Yes.
right? I think,
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
MODOK.
I didn't-
he's
I
a-
didn't know
he's
that.
a big bad,
huge character.
Yeah,
and
big
you
bad
do
villain.
that?
And then they
Yeah.
killed him. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
he
you-
was
you
fucking
just, like-
stupid.
You made him. I don't want to be a dick. I'm like, oh,
I
okay.
yeah.
Well, you just completely just like.
Yeah.
Just like made this entire character just unwind here. Like, what are you gonna like? It could have been a character for like a long time.
No, I
Yeah,
was
big bad
surprised.
villain.
That's
set up for
something-
future
Yeah.
movies.
They Marvelified it because Marvel, like, they go two routes. They usually take something serious and build it up like a big serious
Yes.
moment,
Yep.
and they'll just make a fucking one-liner out of it. And
Right.
like,
They did that.
I guess it's like at first, oh, it's cute, but like you do it every fucking movie, every time. It's kind of annoying.
Since I think
You know?
Thor Ragnarok
Perfect.
set us off
Yeah.
on a bad direction.
That was
in
a
terms of the
perfect movie.
humor.
Yeah.
But
Right.
since then,
Yeah.
like, I agree with that. I don't know. It was cute. I liked it. I don't think like it's getting a lot of hate on I think it's a 47 on Rotten Tomato.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with. I think there are definitely a lot of Marvel
worse
movies are
movies,
worse.
yeah.
Like it was solid.
I mean, you can't put this on the same wavelength as Eternals.
No.
Oh,
That
I like
movie
the
was-
Eternals better than this.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Well, Captain
you
Marvel is
shitting?
not
I
as
did,
good
I
as
swear
this.
to God.
Dark World.
RJ, that movie sucks.
I
dude.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, we got Rob Stark and Jon Snow.
Kit Harington was in
You
it.
get Jon Snow and Rob Stark.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought the best part of this movie was Kang.
100%.
And I kind of, you're right. Most of the movie was without him, but like I did like how they kind of built up his presence. You know, I feel like Kang could have just eradicated all of them if he really wanted to. But it's a Marvel movie, so I kind of like hold
They
my.
are ants,
the ants
you
beat
know?
him basically. And
That-
that scene. Yeah, we'll go to
Sam,
I
what
got
did,
a lot
what
to
did you
say.
think of this movie before we get deep into it?
Well, you know, based on how the last couple Marvel movies were, I did have a little bit of higher expectations for this one, especially with all the media surrounding this.
Yep.
And, you know, a little disappointed with what I saw in theaters. You know, I was hoping this one was going to be a little bit above those expectations for the other movies because they made Thor a joke and whatnot. And I didn't see Black Panther 2. I don't know if you guys
I
saw
liked it.
It was
Thought
good.
It was solid.
But this movie, you know, a lot of things that I'm concerned about. So first off, Kang, how he was easily overthrown by ants.
The ants.
That-
That
Well,
kind
there were
of
a
that
lot-
pissed me off.
That
There
reminded
were a
me-
lot of ants.
That reminded
I
me
don't
of
care.
the kids in Thor: Love and Thunder at the end of that movie.
So
too.
stupid. Yeah. So that was one of them. What else? Fucking Cassie has her own
Cassie.
suit.
You didn't like that?
I didn't like that.
How's she gonna fight though?
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to do.
What do they
that
call
to set
her?
up for-
Well, at least
The Hornet?
Ant Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Ant-Man Jr. There you go.
Well, I don't know. It was some of the things are so ridiculous. Like when Michael Douglas comes out, like and he's giving this huge monologue.
About ants.
I looked at
Yeah.
RJ. I started cracking up.
Oh,
It's supposed
yeah.
to be like this real serious moment. It's so fucking ridiculous because it's about fucking ants.
Well, he said, imagine you show Michael Douglas that scene 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And say, this is what you're going to be doing in 20 years. I don't think he'd believe it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been more memorable if there was actually somebody important that died instead of
That's
that
what I was-
fucking.
somebody.
100%
Okay,
with
you
you,
have.
Oh,
All right.
Go.
So you're making this to like he is your Thanos for the next 8 years?
He's a big bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a big bad.
He should have won.
Yeah.
How can you not have anyone die?
And I'm sorry, but I love Paul Rudd. No one loves Paul Rudd more than me. This should have been it.
I thought they all should have died.
No,
except for
there
Cassie.
Dude,
Yeah.
they could have started
Yes.
Phase 5 off with like a jaw drop.
Yeah.
Like, Kang comes in, he wipes them out, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Well,
I mean, you
You
literally
know?
just like essentially like
should have won.
Kang got beat by a handful of ants or a bunch of ants.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, the Wasp, and
the whole insect fucking...
the whole anthill,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And
Colony.
the colony.
Yeah, there we go.
And you just okay if you have this like Kang is matched.
Right.
You just made him out to be like bigger than Thanos.
'Cause,
this huge thing, and you just got beat.
Making him a joke.
in the first movie of Phase 5.
And they didn't talk. They talk a lot about Kang outside of the movie, like he's gonna be bigger than Thanos. But the best thing about Thanos was
In the shadows.
they didn't talk about him. He was in the shadows, and then he like I don't fear Kang like I feared Thanos.
They'd show
You know what
Thanos
I'm
a
saying?
scene, maybe mention him.
Post-credit scene.
Yes.
Real
yeah.
quick. He would never be, you know what I mean? And then he came, and I was going to ask, that was my big question for like you guys.
Yes.
How do you feel about, do you think they use Kang in the wrong way here? Like, what do you think about how to use Kang? Because I think like Jonathan Majors is like, his stock is rising. So maybe they want to like show him more.
I think this is like you're screwed if you do, you're screwed if you don't.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
if you use him the exact same way as Thanos, everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're just
Right.
taking, I mean, like it's the same way as what's the first new Star Wars? What's that called?
Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
It was a carbon copy of
A New Hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
and everyone was like, this is stupid, and it just set off for the next two movies. Now, don't get me wrong; those movies are not great,
No.
but it just set off like it put it on a sour note.
And
It
Phase
did.
4 wasn't great either.
No.
You know.
No.
Yeah.
No, it
So
wasn't.
you just like, okay, now you got to dig yourself out of another hole. It was good. Like I'm not
fine.
gonna sit here and say like I didn't enjoy the movie.
No, I had.
I
fun.
yeah, I
was a good
chuckled. It
movie.
was entertaining. It was
Don't
quick.
worry.
It just felt like I thought he was pretty good. I thought
was
they were gonna
funny.
use him
Funny.
like in a
He was
different way.
underused.
I love that
Yeah.
scene.
It was cute.
I thought they I thought that his character was a good
middle guy.
He was kind of the Lando.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Dude, that felt like Cloud City.
Yeah, then
when they
he
went there.
betrays
'Cause it's
them,
a
it
fucking
was-
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I thought that he should have been like one of the I forget what they're called.
The freedom fighter people.
I thought he should have been bigger.
Yeah,
I forget
overall.
what they're called. I think it was like on like the same length, the same wavelength as the Watcher.
Oh, okay.
I forget
yeah.
what.
Sure.
What, yeah.
Like more of like a
cosmic
being.
type
Yeah.
of being, whatever.
Mhm.
It would have fit better in a Guardians movie, I think.
Oh, absolutely. But like, I don't know how. Like, what are you gonna do next? Because like the post credit scenes I thought were great.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that like opened the door back up.
Loki.
Both
Yes.
of those.
I love
whenever I
those
see
Owen
those,
Wilson
credit
I
scenes.
get hyped.
Owen Wilson. We love him.
Can I keep going?
Yeah,
go in
go.
there.
Go.
Keep going.
Okay.
Brian.
So the second post credit scene,
Great.
I literally like I was like when like he like came out with like the hair, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mustache.
yeah.
Because I haven't like looked at it yet or like compared it. I'm 95% sure that is a exact copy of in the last episode of Loki with like the clay figures or whatever, and he's got like the
yeah.
board,
Yep.
and he's like explaining
wow.
it. You
Yeah.
remember that?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like exactly the same.
Oh, interesting.
And so I guess from that trailer, like you can take away the fact of like, okay, like Loki like got Morbius.
Mobius.
Morbius is the
Morbius,
vampire.
Jared Leto. We don't
Yes.
like that.
That movie sucks.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so like he like they're like understanding like what's happening. So I feel like Loki's gonna have like a big role, which I really that Loki show was a great show.
Great.
I think that's personally my favorite Marvel show they made.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I could you could probably say it's the best thing that's maybe come out since Endgame.
That's not a crazy.
Whenever I'm
statement.
substituting, I put on Loki
yeah.
because I want to watch it.
Dude, that's what you do.
Yeah, I put, well, because it's North.
Teacher, big
It's
shit.
North
Yeah.
mythology. It's North. Loki.
Nordics.
That's
Yes.
like when me and John Hannon. Shout out John Hannon. Great
Shout out
guy.
Hannon.
We did our senior project on the
Oh, yeah, that
on
was
the
a joke.
Marvel.
That's great.
That was a joke.
But that was great. I thought that really, because Loki season 2 comes out this summer.
I believe so.
Yes.
yeah.
Good summer show.
Really good segue into it, and I really like that. The first one,
You texted me about that
Council.
that first
when
one,
we were driving
Council
it.
of Kang.
yeah, the Council of Kang. I mean, because you got like the
lot of 'em.
the
It's like a
Egyptian
pharaoh.
guys.
The
Yeah.
Pharaoh.
Yeah. So you're essentially saying like, okay, like all these people do exist.
Yeah.
And all those timelines do exist as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like that has to be how they introduce Fantastic Four.
Probably. Yeah.
I feel like that's, I feel like a lot of people are going to be really pissed off. That's not how they do it. It just essentially, but then this is where I go back to the fact that they killed him. Because
Yeah.
then they kind of doubled down, like, with, like, the people saying, like, okay, so that one's dead.
Right. It's like, when are we getting the real one?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
who
yeah.
did we just
I thought
see?
this was
Yeah.
gonna be the real one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, actually, is he dead? Like, I don't know. Like,
Is
knows?
anyone
The
truly ever
MCU.
dead?
Yeah,
Is
Yeah.
that-
he might have gone
Right.
to like a different dimension.
I mean, like,
or
I'm
something.
95% sure we're gonna see
Yeah.
like Robert Downey Jr. back as Iron
I
Man at some
agree
point.
too. Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say, like, connected to what you were saying about Loki. Here's my biggest issue so far with since Endgame, is we've been waiting for like answers as to like what's gonna happen, and this whole multiversal thing I feel like has been very hard to follow because
Confusing.
what's going on? Like at first we thought Wanda screwed it up in WandaVision.
yeah,
Then we see Loki and Sylvie kills Kang and that screws up the universe. Then Doctor Strange happens.
Spider-Man.
Then Spider-Man screws up so like who screwed it up? I feel like it feels very thrown
Convoluted.
together,
It
and I
does.
feel like the direction that Feige had in the first, up till Endgame is not the same right now.
it's not.
Yeah.
I would say okay. So you have would you like
No, I was just gonna say, like, going up to Endgame, it was like a very clear, straight path.
Right.
This is very like twisting. It's hard to follow.
nothing
like,
feels connected.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna claim that everything is connected, don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. I feel. What are you laughing at?
I'm actually, honestly, I'm playing Tetris right now. I swear to God, and I'm listening to it like it's a podcast, and I'm listening to it. It just made me laugh. That's all. You're like, yeah, well, hold on, boys. I'm the guest for this only time on the show, but I'll get to your comment in a second.
So that the first up to Endgame.
Yep.
Would you guys agree that like those are the main, superheroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Man,
100%.
Thor, Cap.
Now you kind of got,
big
you're
three.
you're branching off a little bit.
Your second, your B
You're
superheroes.
B listing here.
Even
BC,
C.
yeah, BC
Yeah.
tier.
So I don't know if like that's kind of like what
Agree.
what adds to it
1000%.
too. Like, because you have like he's
Ant-Man.
he's an A-list. He's an A-list villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been a toss-up. You could have had Thanos. You could have had Kang.
Right.
But like now they're just kind of like throwing together, and like Wanda's already. I don't know if you want. Like, she's like a B. A B.
It's like
Yeah.
you're watching Celtics Bucks. Tatum and Giannis are sitting out. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you still got Jalen, but like
But I
Middleton.
still don't think that's the main reason that like I don't personally feel engaged anymore. I think the movies.
The
quality.
story itself.
And this, yeah, exactly. And what was I gonna say? Like the direction of it, obviously, where they're going is still unclear. But I feel like, ever since Disney Plus came out, we've had how many? We get 3 movies now,
Yeah.
3 shows a year.
Too much.
There's too much output,
much.
and I don't think Kevin Feige
Fogster.
can control it anymore.
It's getting
out of hand, and I want to go back to the days where we got a movie at the beginning of the year, a movie at the end of the year, and maybe throw a show in at the summer.
Yes.
Why are we making an Agatha spin-off show?
There's no
Stuff
need.
like this. And
There's
that
no
to me, do you
need.
think Feige planned that? No, it got big,
money.
and then he's like, "Let's make that."
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's him or the people at Disney, but they're clearly not.
You can't
it's not
dilute it
planned
that
out.
much.
Yeah.
Those movies would come out, right? And everyone, what you guys went on what? You guys go on Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opening weekend.
You know,
I mean-
you could never buy tickets 2 days
No.
before. Yeah.
And I went on a President's Day at 12 o'clock.
Right.
The first day of school vacation week.
Yep.
That theater was a quarter full.
Right.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's
know.
really sad.
Granted,
yeah.
it's like a sunny day and everything like that.
Yeah.
Still,
What are you
though.
saying, Nick?
February.
This has nothing to do with the movie
Sure.
whatsoever. This goes back to the thing we talked about a few weeks ago with the AMC.
the tickets.
Like,
yeah.
why?
I don't know if it's put in yet because when I bought my tickets,
But
it
why
didn't-
implement it?
Right.
Because that's a good point. When I was in high school,
Yeah.
not even in high school really, when I was really younger, middle
Mm-hmm.
school, early high school, first day of any break, that's a movie day.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
especially wintertime break.
Mm-hmm.
110%.
February.
It has not been a
Yeah.
very cold or snowy winter. Like there's no like snowboard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if this is if you're not going on vacation like with your family and fly out. You know what I'm saying? This is a movie day.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me it's a quarter full, and you got AMC that's going to start charging $2 extra for premium seating.
Yeah.
With all these streaming services that you're going to be able to see it on
Right.
in 3 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Especially
it'll be
with
out
Disney
on
Plus.
Disney
Ant-Man's
Plus.
gonna be
Yeah.
on
There you
here.
go.
Yeah.
Agree.
I mean, so like,
Or
I don't know what you-
instantaneously. Like
Right.
as it comes out. It'll drop in theaters and on streaming at the same time, some of these movies.
So
Well, I think
defeats
it's going to
the
get to
purpose.
that point at
100%.
No, some of them
Yeah.
already do. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Some of
Yeah.
them drop at the same time.
I
Makes
yeah.
zero sense, but I'm just saying.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like it's nice out and all that stuff, but
No.
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, yeah, but so we'll bring it back to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
It's still connecting to the fact that maybe people is the MCU slowing down? Because they're keeping the pace going. They're putting more out than ever, but
They
I feel
are.
like they're starting to, you know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest issue so far with these movies. Because like, be honest, when's the last time you left an MCU movie with a high?
Spider-Man.
Like, I would say
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
or
And why
Endgame.
was that?
Spider-Man
though? It's
Endgame.
Toby and Andrew, like it was a big
it was
event.
essentially like a fanfare movie.
But before that, Endgame,
Endgame.
and since
Yeah.
then, like Doctor Strange, I was bummed out with, the multiverse of madness, and it really,
you want to like
title.
it.
yeah,
You really want to like
You
it.
can't.
yeah,
But like, there's like, that one thing.
Yeah,
dude.
that
And
one
it
thing that
just
holds you
seems
back. Like,
rushed.
I like this movie,
yeah.
but I can't say like I'm like
Dude,
jumping out of my
it's up
seat for
there.
it.
They had
Yeah,
a
no,
stretch.
it's not.
It was like Ragnarok, Black
Right.
Panther, Infinity War,
great. Yeah.
Endgame. They'll never get that.
big
again.
And
hitters.
obviously, like, listen, it's tough because they killed off Iron Man and Cap.
You had to.
Unfortunately, they had no control of Chadwick Boseman passing away, so we lost Black Panther. So now we're kind of left with
She
Doctor
cheers, like you
Strange
said.
and Spider-Man are kind of the biggest guys now.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Which I think if you do it right, the margin for error is much smaller now with those guys gone. but I still think they've mishandled it
I
so
agree.
far.
Yeah, I just think it's too oversaturated right now.
Yeah,
They're putting
agreed.
like all their eggs like over here instead
Yeah.
of kind of sticking to like one movie at the beginning of the year, like you said, and one at the end of the year, and like making that movie, those movies like really, really good.
Yeah.
They're just kind of, throwing out like mediocre movies just to like, feed the people that follow this universe, trying to make everybody happy. But, we're upset over here. They're giving us like mediocre products. We're paying good money to go see it.
Yeah.
And, like we said, ever since Spider-Man, we haven't really had a movie that we'd walked out of the theater and said, that was actually
Right.
pretty good.
I would say it's like, I wouldn't say like upset yet.
But
I would
I'm
say
on the
more,
verge.
I, I'm irritated. Now, this is what I feel like could happen. So they hyped this movie up big time, right? Like it was a big release. Guardians of the Galaxy, if that does not
That's not going to fail.
100% hit, because you have people who just like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right.
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And like I know that like it's gonna like this is like the end of whatever.
Yeah.
If that flops, there is gonna be a whole different like demographic of people who go see Marvel movies that are going to be
Lost. Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Like,
I will say those
past
movies have,
irritated, past like pissed.
they've always operated kind of on their own too. So
Yeah.
and it's James Gunn. Trust James Gunn. So
Yes.
I'm not
I agree.
worried about that.
I would agree with
To me, Guardians and I'm not worried about Deadpool 3 either. I think those two are
Yeah.
going to be
operating their own thing.
yeah. But yeah, it's this main thing that's going right now. And look at Star Wars.
Oh,
Look what happened when
fucking
they were like, we're
terrible,
going to
dude.
do an episode and then we're going to do a spin-off. We're going to do and
Everyone's
then
fed
we haven't
up.
had a movie since 2019.
double
Yeah.
Because you're
dipping.
exhausting it. And
Yeah, it's
it's
too much.
just take your time.
Yeah.
Well,
You know
I'll
what I'm
touch on
saying?
Star Wars for 1 sec. Have you guys watched Bad Batch? The new season?
I know.
I
not.
haven't
Is
seen
it
the
no
new
good?
season, but I'm a fan of Bad Batch, though.
Not
good?
bad.
All
Like,
right. I
actually
hear
not
decent
bad.
things. I
Yeah.
might get into it.
Good
But
batch.
yeah,
Yeah, good batch.
Good
of
batch.
characters.
Good
Yeah.
batch.
But I mean, before we move on, where's this rank for the 3 Ant-Man movies for you?
Jesus.
To me, it's probably my least favorite. I gotta be honest.
I'd say they're all really close. I would probably go with you. Probably
Yeah.
least fair. But like it's not like so far.
You know who was missing from this movie? Michael Pena.
Yeah.
With his like
Oh,
rants. Like why was
security,
They could have
yes.
thrown him into the movie.
No,
Yeah,
sure,
come on.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
So like going forward with it,
Yeah.
if did you guys watch Miss Marvel at all?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's
Okay.
the only one I haven't. And She-Hulk.
Yeah, I didn't watch those
Yeah.
ones.
So I think this is gonna relate to Miss Marvel.
Okay.
So when she finally like gets like her powers or whatever it is, it's gonna because those like platforms that she would like step on or whatever looked really really similar to like the platforms like Kang was at, like the blue ones.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's got to relate somehow with that the Marvels.
That's coming out later this
That's
year too.
I just got delayed.
Yeah, it did. To November. Yeah.
Come on.
Perfect.
That's gonna
That's a
relate
shame.
to that, I think, and I think that's gonna tie into the 10 rings at some point because you just had the 10 rings.
Now I heard a
Shang-Chi,
theory.
yeah.
I heard a theory from a guy at work. Now you know Kang's got those rings.
yeah.
That the quantum realm exists within the 10 rings.
Ooh,
I thought that was an interesting theory.
that yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
yeah.
again, we don't know. We don't know much.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
mean,
know much.
I think that it's got to change.
Yeah.
They got like a general direction they want to go in, and then it's gonna change like.
I
5
hope so.
times
I hope we
between
look
now
back
and
at
then.
this and be like, they did have a plan the whole time. And
Yeah.
maybe we will. You know, it's still early, I guess.
I did see something that I don't know if this is true or not because
Mm-hmm.
didn't Feige just say he wanted like the MCU to go for another like 50 years?
Did he say that?
I
He might have. I don't know.
thought I saw something.
Why not?
along
I mean,
those
if it
lines.
makes money, man.
Yeah.
Then I also saw something that it was gonna, that was phase 1 with Thanos. 2 is Kang, and then it's gonna end with Galactus.
I could see that.
Yeah, I
I
could see
think
the
it
time.
will end eventually. I just because people will stop. I think it'll come
Yeah.
down. But I agree. That would be a good finish off.
Yeah, I think it
Galactus
would be.
is a big villain, but
Yeah, I think it would be, but I mean, it's just there's so many things, and I texted RJ like I text. I'm sorry.
That's
all right.
awesome.
I'm sorry.
great.
I texted
Very
Matt like
touching.
leaving the theater. Like we have a lot to talk about. And I think that like it's just so much. Like there's so many different directions that it can go from here. But like
don't
my
know.
biggest thing with this, like you couldn't have killed him there, and you couldn't have anyone die, or you had to have someone die.
yeah,
Well-
that was a yeah.
Plus, what about the battle itself?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it
what
all
were your
looks the
thoughts
same,
on the
yeah.
battle?
The battle itself, I really
only-
haven't thought about that yet.
The only
honestly.
moment that I felt like Kang as a formidable villain is when he jumps down and he starts wiping people
That's
out.
what I'm saying.
You do
I
that,
want-
but
I
then you
wanted
have him
more of
get
that.
ran over by a bunch of ants.
Right, and it's like Christian Bale getting attacked by kids in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
it's, like, what are
it's
we
just
doing?
completely like
Hank Pym just walked up, gave a fucking speech
Ant
about
speech.
ants.
yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I know, man.
That and
Yeah.
I really I don't want to like keep like harping on this like that entire MODOK thing. That was so stupid.
I know.
That was
That's a
dumb,
shame.
man.
That was
They-
I'm
really,
sure he'll come back.
he
somehow.
Yeah, no,
he
he-
has to.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
He looked so
The CGI,
Stupid.
and that's another
Dumb.
thing. The CGI has not looked great in some of these movies too recently.
it
They
didn't-
use the volume thing from the Mandalorian a lot, and you can tell that
Yeah.
they're standing in front of a screen sometimes. It's just I don't know.
I thought that whole thing with like when Ant-Man was like multiplying and stuff.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty
The
good.
That was my
Baskin-Robbins
favorite
guy.
scene.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
That was
Yeah,
actually
the
my favorite scene
Baskin-Robbins.
when
Yeah.
like all the Ant-Mans and shit.
That was funny.
I thought that scene was
I would
really
say
good.
they're heading back in the right direction with the comedy in this one.
Yeah, I think
laughed
these
at
have
it.
Yeah,
always
there was a
had good
couple
comedy.
jokes.
Yeah, when it showed like them like making MODOK. And you just see,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that was funny.
That was I thought that was pretty good.
Hey, you still got baby legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's just like it looks like he's just like under like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I know.
He
Yeah,
looks
it's
like a thumb.
slightly blurry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when you had like the news come out that like MODOK was like gonna be in this, like
Mhm.
people knew it was gonna be Darren Cross,
Right.
but it's just
Yeah.
it looks so.
They dropped the ball a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they kicked it out of the park. Too,
Yeah.
'cause, like, it's
So,
really dumb.
Do we want to go back? You said you wanted to rank the movies, the Ant-Mans.
Yeah, yeah. What do you got, Sam? You said this was. What'd you say?
So
I don't know yet.
All right,
yeah, I was gonna say the original one is
Okay.
number one.
I agree.
Then I'm kind of up in the air about 2 and 3
Yeah.
because
I
like
like-
it
I
could
laughed
go
more
either
at
way.
2.
I feel like the jokes were a lot better in 2, but I'd say probably 2 over 3.
All
So
right.
1, 2, 3 in
Book
order.
it. And one.
It's like, yeah, that's the numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it
What do you
works.
got?
I don't know. What did I say? This one
I
sucks.
forget.
No, it's fine. No, 1, 2, 3. That's me.
Amen.
Right.
Something perfectly balanced.
Yep.
I'd say 1-3-2.
1, 3, 2. That's fair.
I was
That's
leaning
fair.
that way, but I don't know. I might have
To
to
me,
see
Michael
it again.
Pena puts it over,
There you go.
and the other guy, David
T.I.?
the Marshall one, and Ti.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
But I don't
What is
know.
he doing in that movie?
Yeah. But anyway, listen, I think we all agree that it wasn't as good as we expected. I think that's a consensus. Some of us enjoyed it more than others, but hopefully, going forward, we get a formidable Kang, and we can move on.
Agreed.
You know, and be more excited about what's coming forward.
I think there's going to be a bunch of
There are.
Kang.
the
It
way
seems
that
like
the
there's
way
gonna
that
be
they're
many.
making it, you know.
I'm excited for Loki season 2. That's gonna
Yeah.
be
Me
good.
too.
So
Me too.
we'll get after it. But speaking of seasons of television, we're coming up at the. Isn't that good? We're coming up to the end. I tried of The Last of Us season 1. Everyone's crying, but Matt just informed me there's 9 episodes,
9.
not 8. So that's good.
9.
Why
Um,
9?
I don't know.
It's an
probably-
odd number.
That's probably what they thought would
It
be
is
the
an
best
odd
amount of
number.
episodes to
Literally
tell the
is.
story.
Yeah.
So that they can have a middle episode. If you have an even number, they can't. You can't.
Oh,
can't
that
have a
is
middle
that
episode.
is true.
Yeah.
But great episode. Probably my second favorite episode. I still love episode 1. I think it was perfect.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
this was a great episode. Beautiful cinematography in this episode. Those silhouette shots of them traversing all over. Where are they? Wyoming.
Jackson,
what a word.
Wyoming.
Yeah. So we got a
Traversing.
3-month. Yeah, thank you.
You're
We got a 3-month jump from last episode here. Don't need to know much about it. I mean, Joel and Ellie have just been, going across country, finally
fighting zombies.
fighting zombies.
Clickers.
They get to Wyoming and they run into this group on horseback. They take him to this, what's it called, Jackson, I think. is the
Jackson,
location.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically they go in and Tommy Boy's there, Joel's brother. And it was a nice reunion for them. And some really emotional scenes. Some of the most emotional scenes of this season so far were here. That scene of Joel like breaking down with Tommy, I thought was incredible. That's why you get Pedro Pascal in this role. But what'd you guys think of this episode? Like I said, to me, it's the second best one yet.
I agree, Audrey. I thought it was an incredible episode, and I thought where episode 4 might have missed the mark in terms of like building that Ellie and like Joel.
Yes.
Like this was so good, like their relationship, and you really saw like how much like deep down like they do care for each other.
Yeah.
Like Joel thought it'd be better if Tommy went with her, but like he couldn't like leave her because he knows like, you know, how close him and Ellie have like grown with each other. Dude, and it was crazy. That scene with Joel breaking down in front of... That's the first time we've seen Joel really vulnerable.
Yeah.
He was vulnerable
Since
this
the first episode, yeah.
And, dude, that was... You're right. That's why I get Pedro Pascal. It was so cool seeing the... You got a lot of shots from the trailer. We were talking in the car right over in the snow.
Yeah.
It looked so cool. I thought that opening with the old couple was, like,
the
awesome.
great line.
I'll let Sam say he liked one of those lines.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just a fucking... I thought it was really cool. I liked there were no zombies.
Yeah.
Dude, and then that ending, like, you know, I mean, what's going on?
Yeah.
I thought it was a really cool episode, and what I like too, this show does a good job. Like, it gives you a lot to talk about, like in the week leading up to the next episode.
What's happening next?
You know what? It's a lot. You know, it's a good episode, and then they always end it with like, all right, like we gotta tune in next week.
It's that water cooler TV, Matt.
Dude, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And they got the two perfect people to play two main, so
I totally
love
agree.
it. Yeah.
Sam.
Like Matt was saying about Joel and Ellie, I like their dynamic, and I think it came full circle in this one. Like, early on, we see them enter that cave. You know, they're taking a little rest before they start traversing to Jackson, Wyoming. And so Joel takes a little bit of a nap, doesn't realize how much time has gone by, and he wakes up, and he's like, what are you doing? And Ellie's like, oh, you know, you were sleeping. I just let you be because, you know, you seem a little tired, a little stressed out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I found the high ground and remembered all that you taught me. I thought that was pretty cool dynamic between those two. And then the whole interactions between Joel and his brother Tommy, those were great, especially in the beginning, like the bar scene when they're just kind of talking about the situation. Like, you know, Joel's like, I need you to take her to the destination because I don't think I can do it. Because we saw early on to open the scene, like when they leave that old couple's house, he kind of looks like he's going to have a stroke.
Yeah, it seemed a panic attack, something like that.
Something like anxiety filled. We don't really know what that is, but he does have another one of those later on in the episode. But I thought that whole dynamic was pretty good. And then you kind of knew he was going to change his mind, that he was the one that wanted to be with her. Because at the end of the day, I do think he considers her to be like his daughter at heart.
I think you see that for the first time in this episode. Yeah.
Plus, I think it was cool, the dynamic between Marie and Ellie in the house. So
scene, the haircut.
Ellie finds out that Joel did have a daughter and she did pass away, unfortunately. Like, it was the first day that the clickers and the virus went around. So
we did see that, yeah.
She finds out about that and she gets very upset at Joel for not, you know, telling her. And he's just like, well, don't mention it anymore because, like, it's a very sensitive topic to him. But the one quote that I really love from this episode is actually from that same interaction. So it's from Marie. She says, the only people that can betray us are the ones we trust.
There you go.
Sounds like Michael Corleone said that.
There you go.
I know.
You know?
Just sitting across the table, you know.
There you go.
Who do I trust?
Who do you trust?
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Put this together.
Us.
Me.
That's who
Welcome
you
to
trust.
the Al Pacino podcast. Nick, what'd you think of this episode?
Have any of the four of you ever been to like Yellowstone National Park or Wyoming?
I have not.
No, it's beautiful though.
Okay, I've been. It is it's one of those places like this. Oh, you want to see the Grand Canyon? It's a big ditch in the ground, whatever. You know what I mean? It's great. It's one of those places. It's awe-inspiring. Is the only way that I could.
Oh
like,
yeah, they captured
describe
that
it.
well.
I've been to Yellowstone. Like they pull traffic over because there's herds of buffalo crossing the street.
Yeah. Kevin Costner railing them in.
It looks exactly like this. Like this could have been shot on an iPhone. Like those commercials
they
shot on an
probably
iPhone.
shot it on location.
No, they did.
Well,
I'm just saying. There's
Kanye album cover.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing like CG or fake or like looking different or like the color grading or anything.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it really is one of those places. Wyoming, in my opinion, I could be wrong. Or, you know, everybody feels each their own. But it's one of those places that lets you realize like how insignificant and small you are as a singular person. Like it is incredible. I really like this episode. I like Joel as a character. I think it's very interesting. I kind of had this weird like sneaking suspicion that the brother was gonna be either dead like months and months and months before, right? Or totally fine and like not willing to leave. Yeah. Like I figured it would have to go one of those two ways. There's like I like the old couple. They were very funny. It was a cute little scene. One What would you do? I want to know, like, what would you do if you were Tommy's the brother name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you?
See, like, I think Joel, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I love Joel's character, but, like, I don't know, if I saw my brother and he's, like, happy, you know what I mean? He's got this wife, he's settled down. I could never ask
what
him.
you've done to go to the ends of the earth, you know what I mean?
But, like, if I could never ask,
especially when he just told him that he's having a kid.
Yeah,
that's what turned me off.
You're asking him, like, pretty much on a suicide mission. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was Joel just being scared.
Yeah.
And he kind of bitched down.
That's the other part of it that I like. And again, I've mentioned this on every show that we watch, every different series, whatever it is, the real moments, the moment, like, this is not why I'm not a huge fan of all the superhero stuff, but it is cool to see, like, I mean, Joel, it's ridiculous. Joel's a sniper and he does all this. It's crazy. And he's like a plumber, like contractor.
Mario.
Contractor.
They're cool.
Contractors
are cool.
But he literally, I thought that was so funny. He goes, everybody loves contractors.
Yeah,
and he got that smirk because everybody hates contractors. I think it's so funny. There were a lot of great moments like that. And I said to myself out loud, sitting there by myself watching the thing when they were like, oh, well, we're not communists or whatever, right? I said, well, they're living on a commune. She turns around and goes, well, we're living on a commune. We're literally communists.
Yeah.
Joel's face when he looks back at his brother in that moment, I was like, this is the greatest human being.
Dirtbag.
It was so funny to me. Like, I was like, he was definitely the face of like, what you got yourself into over
20
here,
years
what
of
are
a
you doing?
post-apocalypse, he's still worried about communists.
But it's just funny, like, but so I love that. But just the breakdown of Joel as a character and having him kind of like cry, but like just emotional breakdown. It just shows it doesn't matter how strong or badass or whatever it is, like, of a person that you are. Like, you can only fucking handle so much.
Yeah.
I think equating Ellie to his daughter and that relationship and everything was it's just really, it's a great episode. And I will say the final thing that I really like was that when people are going through emotional crap, whatever it is, right? Like Joel, Ellie has nothing to do with his daughter's death. Nothing at all. They have zero to do with each other. It's Joel. Everything is in Joel's head, his emotions and his bullshit.
Even he imagines her in that scene too.
Sure, yes, 100%. But I'm saying the stuff that Joel's going through isn't Ellie's fault.
No.
So, but Ellie knows that. I think it was one of the most, like, mature, like, crazy moments for a character that was totally unexpected to me. I didn't know where the episode was going to go because Joel says some pretty messed up shit to her
he does.
in the bedroom and
He's kind of a dick
stomps off.
sometimes.
He is, but sometimes you got to look at it like, okay, he's being a hard ass.
Yeah.
It's a defense mechanism. Yeah.
I agree. So, like, sometimes when you have these people that have to be strong and they flip out and say some cutting, biting shit that's going to shut you down really quick, it's a defense mechanism. That's exactly where I was going with it. The very next morning, the next scene, she did not even, she almost cut him off. Like, no hesitation. I'm going with you. Let's go. Like, she's like, yeah, I get it. Shut up. We're leaving. It was such a, like, a mature, like, because she's a child. If anybody's going to get emotional and crazy about a situation, it should be the immature child.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's going through all this stuff and she's the bigger person. I mean, we had a lot of maturity out of her. He wakes up.
She is very
she's
mature.
guarding the camp with the gun and all this other stuff. And it was just a really cool, almost like role reversal between the two of them for a minute. Ellie makes me want to stab her in the face every like other scene, and then I realize that, like, in a post-apocalyptic setting, I really wouldn't have much to say about it anyway. I don't know. Some of the times where she delivers lines where she's swearing just hit me the wrong way. It sounds
Was it the one at the when they're eating at the table and she yells at the girl behind the post?
Not so. That actually is something I would have done.
Well,
I'd have been like, "The fuck you look?"
Yeah, don't stare.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's like the random mid-conversation
She's
F
got
bombs.
quips. Yeah.
But they're not quips. It's like, that's
She
what
got
I'm
low
saying. It's not
attitude.
like
Yeah,
sarc-
she's in, I don't know.
I like it.
What I'm saying is that would get you a nice little backhand. You know what I mean? Like, that would be like, what'd you
Zombies.
say? There's just no. Listen, I'm just. You view an episode like this where they have electricity, they have all the bullshit. It's post-apocalypse. They got everything.
Yeah.
And in those scenes, you kind of forget that they're not in like a regular busy restaurant. They're in a commune of people in a post-apocalypse. So, but you know what I mean? So in those, it's just, maybe it's the way she delivers the lines. I don't know. But some of those swear that I'm like, why? It almost seems like completely unneeded, but they throw them in because it's HBO. That's all.
Okay. That's
all
fair.
I'm gonna say. But I overall, I really liked the episode. I loved the moment when he said, I'm here to save you. And he's like totally fine. They had the great laugh moment. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
the last thing, I thought it was. I want your opinion. Now, you know I love the drama, right? And I love reading into shit that there's no use in reading into. I was pissed off when she said that Sarah was Joel's daughter. When Ellie says, "I'm sorry about your kids," Kevin and Sarah, right? You clearly don't know that it's Joel's daughter.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you spent this much time with Joel and you don't know that it's Joel's daughter, who the fuck are you to tell it that it's Joel's daughter? Is what I'm saying.
That's not
that
right.
felt like bad writing to me. That
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know the way it happened. Like it felt like they needed a way for her to find out, and it was like the weird way to tell her that. I do wish that was one thing that did
in a real
me.
scenario. Though, if I was Joel, I would have a huge issue.
Well,
with that shit.
I think she would assume that she knows it's Joel's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Why would she say, "I'm sorry about your kids"?
No. I'm saying that she would assume that
Sarah?
Ellie already knows.
Oh, Marie, right?
But that's why
Marie,
that's why I'm saying it was messed up, because she said, "I'm sorry about your children, Kevin and Sarah," right? And then she goes, "Well, Kevin's my son. Sarah's Joel's daughter."
Or she could have said, like, "Kevin's my daughter. You don't know about Sarah."
That would have been better. That would have been a better thing.
Yeah, something like.
And then kind of have a conversation with Joel. And I think it would have been more like almost impactful if they had done it that way.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was
like your husband's brother's daughter died. Your niece dies. The random girl that no one knows anything about, that's not unrelated to the family entirely, right? Doesn't know anything about it, and you just spew this like, "Oh, that's good luck on your trip. That's Joel's daughter." Awkward situation.
Yeah, that was poorly executed.
I did not like that at all.
Yeah,
that would be a big issue for me.
But yeah, I mean, very emotional episode. All of these episodes have been emotional. I will say that scene with Joel and Ellie in the bedroom before he leaves and storms out.
Best scene in the show.
That's like the most famous scene from the video game too, and they ripped it straight out, line for line, and just like Pedro's delivery of that "you don't know what loss is" line, like it's so good. Great scene, great episode. What were you gonna say, Sam?
I was gonna say the ending.
Yeah, what even happened? I'm blank. Oh yeah, so Joel gets stabbed after they go. Well, they get to the school.
Yeah,
and the doctors and everyone are gone.
He's alive though. What are you gonna do for 3 episodes without Joel?
Well,
I love the trailer. I love the trailer for next week. They didn't show him once, and you're like,
don't say
the whole
say
next
anything.
episode is just gonna be Ellie in the past. So it's gonna be a backstory thing.
Come on.
Which I don't.
Why would you say that? I had no idea.
Fuck
you,
RJ.
No, I had no idea.
Fuck you,
RJ. What are you talking about? She's in a mall.
No, but she's in the Fedra school in the first shot with all the kids.
Thanks, RJ.
Yeah,
I
appreciate it.
They showed it.
I like going in blind. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had no idea.
But anyway,
okay, good.
Jacob, you don't have HBO.
No,
unfortunately, you should get it. You should.
I should do a lot of things.
Would any interest in the show? Because I feel like this is a show you would like.
I've heard and seen great things about this. I just feel like I've like missed the boat on it.
You got time.
Yeah,
you got
Time's on your side.
Can I tell you? I didn't watch. I watched Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen that either. Missed the boat on it.
Hear me out. I watched I started season 1, episode 1 of Game of Thrones 2 years after the very last episode of season 8 or whatever it is came out.
Right.
After it was completely done, it wasn't in newspapers anymore. Nobody gave a shit anymore. I'm like, you know what? Now I'm gonna start Game of Thrones. It's just as good.
Better late than never.
I got HBO because I wanted to watch all the Sopranos and have them all, as opposed to my parents used to buy me the DVDs for Christmas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to have access to them. You almost feel guilty about how much time you spend watching this TV when HBO. There's so much good content.
Good.
I'm not like not sponsored.
Premium.
Sponsor us.
But it doesn't feel like you're wasting your life. You know, it feels like you're consuming good content.
It's quality.
It's good food.
Premium.
Good protein.
It's good food.
You're paying for
It's trying
premium.
for your mind.
Refueling the ball. Yeah. Oh.
And I feel like even right now, if you ask me like, what's your favorite, type of show? If you had to pick a show, zombie apocalypse is not going to be like my first thing. This is it's great. It's really worth it. It really is good. Sorry, Jake.
But we got 3
I
episodes left. And Jacob, maybe if you catch up for the finale, you can hop back on. We'll talk about that.
There you go.
Just
How you doing?
But it's great that they use Kanye's ranch in
Wyoming.
to build up this community.
Great album.
That's
Good
great.
album.
But, anyway, finishing it off here with our roulette movie of the week, Platoon.
good movie, isn't it, Jacob?
Good movie. It is a good movie.
Really good.
Oliver Stone directed this movie. Great director. He doesn't get talked about enough. He's really good. Obviously, he was in Vietnam himself, and this movie's kind of semi-autobiographical about him. He kind of is Charlie Sheen's character. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just a classic. One of the best Vietnam movies ever. One of the best war movies of all time. Great cast. We talked about this last week. Johnny Depp, Charlie Sheen.
Kevin Dillon
from Entourage.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe. So many guys there that
And they're all 12 years old.
Yeah, and later in their career, they obviously start leading movies and shows. So that's really cool. But I don't know. I really love this movie just because it doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Can I just say, I don't mean to interrupt
Yeah.
you. Was this your first time watching it?
No, I saw it way back when I was a kid. So this is
okay.
first time I was probably
As an adult and
paying
being
attention.
Right.
And, yeah.
Fair. Okay, good.
But yeah, it doesn't sugarcoat anything. There's some heavy scenes in here when they raid the village and stuff that are tough to watch. And it kind of gave me Deer Hunter vibes too. Like Deer Hunter's another movie that it just does not show the positive side of Vietnam. I don't think there is a positive side of Vietnam, but it's pretty brutal. I don't like how they didn't glorify America. You know what I'm saying? And that's an interesting take from Oliver Stone, who was there fighting too. When you know that he wrote this movie, he was there. So that I found that very interesting. What'd you guys think of this movie?
I mean, I really liked it, man. I had heard about this movie like a long time. Just being like one of the the war movies you got to watch. And I feel like if you do a war movie right, it comes across different. Because like I don't know, like I always say, but like when I'm watching something and like I know like people went through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this shit people actually did. I don't know, it like hits different. Because like I think of like myself doing that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus Christ. And like you.
How old are you?
23.
Yeah. This is like you doing it 7 years ago.
Yeah. That's
Put
crazy.
yourself in that mindset.
And like, I don't know, dude. It's like no wonder why fucking, like, I don't know, like you see the old timers, they don't want to talk. I wouldn't want to talk about it either. I wouldn't want to ever talk about it.
And why they like have like so much like pride about it
Right.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And dude, it was a good movie. Like you said, Oliver Stone, dude, good cast. They're all fucking like wicked young.
Yep.
And I mean, it was a good movie. And like, I feel like too, like, I don't know, those war movies, like Apocalypse and that, like even the older ones, I feel like, I don't know, they hit different. I don't know.
If a war movie, if it doesn't impact you, it's not.
You got to feel
right,
something in here, So.
Sam, what'd you think of this?
It's definitely different from the other war movies that we've watched in the past, like All Quiet on the Western Front and like
1917.
1917, Dunkirk. Like it's a bit of a spin because we get kind of, we see the American side, and it's not them fighting the Vietnamese.
No.
It's them going up against each other, just based on like the morals. Like look at that quote that's up there. The first casualty of war is innocence.
Nice.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
I mean, like you mentioned earlier with the village raid.
Yeah.
I mean, that was some pretty tough scenes to watch. Because literally they're just mowing down innocent people since they're not giving them
Kids,
answers that they
everything,
want.
yeah.
They don't care. They light the village on fire. They killed the mother.
Yeah.
And
like
you see the husband and then also the daughter that's crying right in front of him.
Yep.
And then Defoe comes in, gives him a sucker punch.
Yeah. Defoe was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
like he's justice. I gotta say he's on the good side.
and the other guy's vengeance.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Vengeance.
Yeah, he's
Now,
Batman.
The Shadows.
Matt, you said the Northman, which is weirdly kind of connected to this
Thank you.
because it shows that like these guys have been in these terrible conditions for so long that they're kind of reverting back to like barbaric
The Vikings.
lifestyle, like pillaging, rape and pillaging.
Well, dude, that was what I thought of fucking when the first scene when we introduced the Skarsgård and Northmen.
Yeah.
When they just come in, they raid the fucking village. They literally like rape the
It
women,
doesn't
kill
matter
the
to
children.
them.
They
Yeah.
just take the town, and it doesn't fucking matter. They're just savages. You know?
and I think the character who Barnes, who's the whole movie, Willem
Barnesy.
Dafoe's character,
Matt Barnes.
Elias, and Barnes are kind of butting heads.
Yeah.
And Barnes is clearly the guy. He's been here for so long. He doesn't give a shit about anything. He's numb to it at this point.
Look at his face too. You see the scars and whatnot
right. He's
that they
got
added
no
on.
morals anymore. What'd you think of this, Nick?
I mean, it's fantastic. This is so obviously it's got to be like a decade ago now
Yeah.
when Charlie Sheen was going through all of his tiger blood winning crap that he was going through, drug induced stuff. Mm-hmm. So when he comes into the spotlight, this is when all of these movies and stuff like that, it's like you and your reputation and your past come with you. So this stuff get really big. I watched it when I was younger too, and when 2.5 Men was really big.
Good show.
My dad would start talking about Platoon and
Yeah.
all this stuff. This is the talent in this film across the board with regard to acting and everything. Even Johnny Depp he's got to be 18 or something.
Oh,
He's
looks
very
so
young.
young. Really, really talented people that were just kind of plucked out of wherever.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of them, it is their first film. What's it called? Willem Dafoe is good. Very good.
Yeah.
What's Barnes? The guy
Barnes,
with
I
the
forget
scars.
his name. He's in Inception too.
I think that we all know that one kid in high school who just likes to fight because he likes to hurt his knuckles. Like just because. Like would pull up to somebody at a red light and stick the middle finger up at the person next to him just to see what would happen. You know what I mean? Like just to stir the pot a little bit, you know? That's this guy. And it's very interesting. I think I like Charlie Sheen's character kind of trying to keep a little bit of a level head and be like when they're trying to grape, for YouTube's sake, we'll say.
Yes.
That woman, and he's like, dude, she's a human. What are you doing?
And meanwhile, 10 minutes before, he was going off on that guy shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 100%. Such a shift.
So I think that, like, there is, I guess, maybe I'm messed up. I don't know. But I do draw a little bit of a distinction. Like, the people know that they're at war, you know? Like, there is, if someone's sticking a machine gun in your face, I don't care if they speak English or not. I'm going to do whatever they say.
Yeah.
It's especially if I don't have a machine gun. You know what I mean? If there's one guy on each arm holding me there, and there's a third guy with a machine gun in front of me, I'm not arguing and yelling about I'm saying, take my house, thank you. Come back when you're done. Flush, please. You know, like I don't know, like like I'm not gonna. But there are some shocking moments when he just outright shoots that girl. Like, what are you gonna do? I think you're right. It doesn't glorify America, which is good. And I don't know. It's a weird down in the trenches kind of film. It's to go off what Sam said. It is completely different. Dunkirk is like a painting. Like it's all about the visuals.
That's a good way to put it.
It's same with All Quiet. I mean, they're all three of the movies are completely different, and they all stand on their own. There is something really cool about the look of this film. I don't want to say cheap. That's the wrong word.
No, but it's not pretty.
It kind of like puts you in that place.
Gritty.
Because I felt like I was there just because
like
the way that the film was done.
Well, I feel like you feel like Charlie Sheen in this movie.
You feel like Charlie Sheen.
I mean the film itself, like the film stock. It's like if you watch Dunkirk or if you watch All Quiet,
this was made in '86.
It doesn't matter. They have the same technology now that they did from '86. It's improved.
IMAX cameras.
What I'm saying is I like this look almost better than the new look.
Okay.
Where everything just kind of has that like, and we just
HD.
It. Yeah. You know when they zoom in on a license, it's complete bullshit. When they cop TV show and they have the security camera footage from the street corner, and they zoom in and they go enhance, and he goes,
and it's perfectly
Yeah.
And it's like all crap. It goes from pixely and then all of a sudden it's just HD license plate, whatever it is they're looking for. It's almost like they do that now with movies. Like you film it and then they just do this weird wash of like CG overlay over everything. Not my favorite. Okay. I like just turn the camera on. You know, turn the camera on. Give me like a real movie with real people.
Yeah.
This is a good movie, and I think this is a good writing. Like the story stands out more so.
No, it's
than
very well. I was gonna say this, like, because we've watched a few '80s movies now. On this. They get right into it. They're under 2 hours. Like this movie starts, he gets off the
like
plane.
Rambo, First Blood.
Yeah,
goes into it, and it doesn't make it any worse. And I think it shows the art of like as much as we love these long shows like The Last of Us.
Build-ups.
There's an art to making a 2-hour movie and like seeing characters for 2 hours, meeting them for the first time, getting behind them, and then leaving. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is such a great example of that too. That a lot of '80s movies, Top Gun.
This is why I'm saying I don't need a 3-hour John Wick.
Right?
Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's just it's so lazy these days. Like we're gonna make everything really, really pretty. Yeah. Okay.
Less is more.
Cool.
Sometimes.
Like we haven't seen it before.
I don't even think that I would want to watch like a 3-hour Platoon. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like it's like this is the movie.
You got Apocalypse Now for that.
And that's even good still too. You know what I mean? But like you're right. These Rambos and the Platoon and all these movies, you're in and out. And when you leave, you still feel connected to the characters. Like they do a great job. You're bonded. You know what I mean? I don't know. Full Metal Jacket. I hope we get at some
That's
point.
another one.
Ooh.
God, and that is
Great film.
That is my personal favorite war movie
Yeah.
of all time. Is Full Metal
Great
Jacket.
film.
But yeah, I mean, to summarize it up though, Sam, you made a great point. It's really about. It's not even about the U.S. versus the Viet Cong. It's about the U.S. versus themselves, and
Right.
and them just the infighting there. And Defoe has that great monologue under the stars where he's like, "I don't think we're gonna win this one. You know, we've been kicking ass for a while now. We're about to." Lose one, I think, which, and now we know, obviously, retrospectively.
It's just kind of like everything's blending together. They've been out
Yeah.
there so long. They're losing
they
their
just want to
like,
get home.
sanity out there. They're just like, all right, our only objective is just to make it out of here alive.
Yeah, but great movie. Jacob, I know you didn't have a chance to watch it, but,
Yeah.
if you do, once again, if you get
HBO.
HBO, it's there.
Yo, see,
Yeah.
it said it was on Apple TV.
They lied. Oh, to rent, right?
Yeah,
they
it was
strike
fine.
in.
Bastards.
And
Damn Apple.
I just watched. I was doing homework last night, and Incredibles 2 was on. And then next
Nice.
thing you know, not a bad movie.
It's not
Last
Oh,
Girl.
that's one of
It's
the
a bit
greatest
forgettable,
sequels of all
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elastigirl.
Oh,
Calm down there, Sam.
my favorite
Cartoon
part of that
character.
movie. I never picked up on it. The guy who does the memory thing.
Oh, the old guy
Yeah,
from the beginning,
Yeah.
like the FBI guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
His name's Dicker,
Oh, yeah.
and
That's
there's
great.
many
Oh, yeah.
moments when
Agent Dicker.
they
yeah.
just he picks us and goes Dicker. I'm like
awesome.
this now. I'm getting because when I was younger, I know.
You
Yeah,
enjoy
why
him
would
one
you,
way,
yeah.
then you
Yeah,
enjoy him
and
another
then I'm
way.
they put that in for the parents right there.
Yeah.
I was
Age,
hysterically laughing.
age
for
like
about 5
fine
minutes.
wine.
Amen. But
Yeah.
let's see what we're watching this week for Movie Roulette. Alrighty, Sam. What color are we landing on today? Didn't you get the right color last week?
No, I was close. I think I said orange.
No, you did. You got it right.
You got it right.
You got it right.
Oh wait, no, I did.
Best
Platoon,
bets,
yeah.
the new
Oh
best
yeah,
bets.
fuck. Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Some
Uh,
good movies on here.
we're gonna go with it's kind of like the darker red. You see the one next to the black on the left.
The
Yes,
Training
that
Day
one.
one, or Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The darker red.
Hit it.
I don't know what kind of red.
Sam,
that
you
is.
get this right. Your awards at the Golden Banana. Okay.
Oh,
So,
DBs.
Fingers
And
crossed.
take him to the cabaret right after.
There we go.
Dave and Buster's.
What do we got? My cousin
Good
Vinny,
movie.
Nick's creaming in his
Good
pants.
movie.
Buddy,
Good
you
movie.
I have been
fucking
waiting
bastard.
for this. You think I'm gonna get you so back for that Quantumania hour that we just spent? You have no idea. Be prepared. This is an
Hey,
Oscar-winning.
lawyer up, kid.
Yeah, I
This
was actually
is-
watching this the other day.
These two
Yeah.
episodes,
Good
folks.
movie.
This was a long episode this week, but next week's gonna be even longer. They
Because-
will be
We're
identical.
gonna have
That's what she
Marissa
said.
Tomei in studio. How you doing?
If
Aunt
that-
May.
If that's
Yeah.
the case, call my mother. I'm cured. We
Yeah.
got a lot to talk about.
Have you seen My Cousin Vinny?
I've seen parts of
Yeah,
it.
it's a classic comedy. Yeah,
I know.
down.
I know.
good thing there's a desk in between. Jeez. Well, before we leave today,
Do we have any questions?
I have a question.
No questions from the viewers.
No viewer
Who's that
questions.
one? What was
Damon Tarr.
Damon Targ.
Yeah,
That's a
you let
good-
me down, buddy. Let me
Yeah,
down. I look
yeah.
forward to it.
We need questions, but
Please.
I made one today, as I have to sometimes. But pick because this is kind of connected to, we were just talking about 80s movies.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino recently came out and talked about his favorite decades of movies. What's your personal favorite decade of movies that you like to go back on?
Interesting.
Now, Tarantino said that the 80s is one of his least favorite, and I
Wow.
think he said that because of the reason why we like it, because he loves drawn-out stories and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're efficient in the 80s. I gotta disagree with him in there, but I'm going 90s.
for your favorite ever,
Yeah.
so that means no Star Wars for you,
Yeah,
because
sometimes.
that's 70s. So no,
Yeah, but there's
just
not
saying.
enough else in the 70s.
Godfather is 70s. Star Wars is 70s.
All right, that's two movies.
Deer Hunter.
90s, I got Seven, I got Training Day, I got Jurassic Park,
Jackie
I
Brown.
got Saving Private Ryan,
Toy Story.
Toy Story, yeah.
Cousin.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong.
The Phantom
great-
Menace, I
great-
still get a little Qui-Gon Jinn in me,
Dude, I'm going. It's a tough one. I'm going early 2000s. Give
That's
me
not-
Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, the
Oh,
Dark Knight
interesting.
trilogy,
The
and the
prequels.
prequels.
Yeah.
Like you talk about big fucking trilogies.
Then you got like Gladiator and those other like
I mean,
big
they
epics.
didn't
Yeah.
fuck around in the early
No,
2000s.
that was where the money was getting thrown.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why everyone's bankrupt now.
8 Mile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Great movie.
That's
Good
a
movie.
good pick.
B Rabbit, right? Mackay Pfeiffer.
Oh,
There we go.
You got one?
Kind of stuck between the 80s and the 2000s.
Like his 2000s, the
Yeah.
early 2000s. Yeah. I mean,
great
the
era.
80s, you got Empire, that's like the blockbuster.
Indiana Jones,
That's
some of the Rockies.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Rocky, and I was thinking I'm a
Back to the
big
Future.
Scarface.
big
yeah.
Scarface guy.
Yes.
I was thinking those, but then like early 2000s, like that's like what you grew
Grew
up
up
with.
on.
Yeah,
Bangers.
that's
you
why
know?
for me, like that's our childhood.
We got the bias there.
Yeah.
Great
I
movie.
don't know.
But think about it. You got a little Raiders of the Lost Ark, Empire Strikes Back,
Rocky, Rocky 3, Rocky 4.
Well, I'm
Top Gun,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Platoon,
I reject the
Back-
challenge because Balboa is no challenge.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah, the 80s is tough.
got a lot,
I
man.
don't agree with Tarantino there. but
Major League.
You going? What are you going? You got to pick one.
Is Pulp Fiction 80s?
90s.
90s.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the 90s. You get the early Tarantino movies
Yeah.
too.
It's a tough one. Titanic. I don't like that movie.
I'll go 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a tough-
Raging,
that's-
Raging Bull, Dead Poet Society,
Yeah.
The Shining.
Yeah, The Thing.
Oh man, there's
That's some
so many in the 80s.
Ferris
That's
Bueller.
really shocking that he said.
Yeah,
his
he
least
said the
favorite
80s
was
and the
his-
50s. That's a weird take.
Yeah,
Quentin.
50s are probably a weird time
Yeah.
for movies.
What do you got, Sam?
Full Metal Jacket is it the
So-
80s
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I was gonna say this after Jacob said it. The 80s.
Yeah, a good pick.
Because one of my favorite movies ever made, Ferris Bueller's Day
Oh,
Off.
great movie.
yeah.
Great movie.
Listen, you
Was-
know when you're watching an 80s movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
one of
you
the
just
best.
feel
Yeah.
like you're there, man. Simpler
It's a good
times,
time.
you're happy.
There
You
you
know,
go.
you don't got a care in the world, like especially in that movie.
It's
Like,
a good time.
that'd be the perfect day off.
It's a
You know,
day
you
off.
call out
Platoon,
sick.
You know?
There you go.
It's nice lighthearted one. Yeah. But Nick, you got one too?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you going 70s? I mean, the 70s.
I'm probably gonna land on 70s. I like 40s too. I like those old, what do you call them? Noir films.
fun
You
with
know what I
that.
mean?
All those black and white.
But
Watch
if I
it
had
Citizen
to,
Kane.
yeah, don't get me started. Hour and a half in.
Yeah.
The 70s. I'll go 70s.
Yeah, that's a good
Godfather,
pick. I mean,
original
that's the
trilogy of
big renaissance
Star
for
Wars,
Hollywood.
Jaws.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like that's when they really got
Rocky
their groove
One.
on.
Peak.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go like 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
20s, 30s, whatever, 40s. But by the 70s, they really had. It's
I like vaudeville. Yeah.
I don't know, George Lucas and all of those.
Yeah,
like
that's where they
that
all came out.
that
the first
generation.
film school guys, yeah.
uh,
But
kids with talent that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, let's push this
Change-
craft
yeah.
as hard as we can.
Coppola, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Coppola, amazing.
Great picks, everyone. There's a lot
Thank
of good
you.
errors. You know
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying? I think we're in the worst one right now, though. But anyway, guys, let us know what's your favorite decade of movies down below, and ask a question. We'll answer it next week when we're back. Next week we're reviewing The Last of Us episode 7.
Yeah.
We're reviewing My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Nick's he's
Deep
so
dive.
excited. Deep diving on My Cousin Vinny. And I think that's it for now. Nothing else to review next week. But Jacob, thank you for coming on once again.
Pleasure.
being
Always a
here.
pleasure.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Again, if you catch up on Last of Us, we got a
Oh,
seat
he's
for you on
doubling
the
down
couch.
on it. He's
Right
doubling
there.
down
For
on it.
you on the
Got
couch.
your name on it, kid, right there.
Sam will pay for your HBO subscription. He told me earlier.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Sam.
I mean, I'll go get it when I get home.
Yeah.
What do you think I am? Made of money?
You
get a
inviting
few,
him
different
to
charges on there? Just don't pay attention to him.
have him pop by on the 12th for the.
Well, how many mics we got?
Who cares? We can interchange.
Sure.
We're all over
What
the place
about
all the time.
let's go see Guardians together?
Yeah, well,
And Super
yeah.
Mario. Can't forget about
Oh,
that.
Yes.
Yes, now we're
the
talking.
most anticipated
Ah.
film of the year,
Yep.
Super Mario.
But before we sign off, I just want to give 2 more shout outs.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, our number 1 supporter, Damon Targ out there, left another comment on the last video. Shout out, consistent. We love it. And then also shout out to Lisa again for leaving a comment. We'll see when we
The
review.
same
Don't
comment.
worry, darling, but
Yeah,
maybe in the near future.
yeah.
I don't know.
Any other viewers, drop your Snapchat for Sam. All right.
Well, guys, as always, do that, but also like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We'll be back next week. How you doing?